You have, because you got to realize too, another thing. In some of these countries, they have a caste system, right? So let's say, I remember like years ago, I used to work in UPS, and there was a woman on the job. I think she was from India. She's East Indian, right? And every time I would see her, she would smile and flirt and chit chat or whatever. Um, and I played along with it. But I knew if I was to like make a move, she'd probably be down with it, right? More than likely. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but more than likely, I think she was the type, she's waiting on me to say something or do something. Because where they from, where she's already coming from a submissive background. You got to realize this. Women aren't aggressive towards men. They don't walk up to a man and introduce themselves and say, "Hi, how you doing? I'd like to get to know you. Take my phone number. We should talk sometime." No. Right? And more than likely, she was married. More than likely. I never actually looked for a ring on her finger, but more than likely, she was married. Right? However, where she's from, it's a strong caste system in India, right? So based on how she looks, I think she would be, in India, she would be considered as white, or at least on that, she'd be close on that top of that pyramid as far as the caste system goes, right? Over there. And I think where she's from, the people that look like me, they're on the bottom of the caste system, right? So you don't think that there's a good chance she's looking at me just like she look at the people back at home. Now, can some people separate their way of thinking versus back home to being in the present? Yes, they can. But most of the time, they don't. And the ones that are conscious of it, they usually go back and forth with their way of thinking. On one hand, they're like, oh, he is Black American. But on the other hand, he looks like the people from where I'm from, they're at the bottom. So I know some people personally struggle with this. They've told me they struggle with this way of thinking. They want to be one way, but they grew up, the way they grew up is those thoughts dominate how they think and how they operate. You know what I'm saying? So it's a psychological mindset that a lot of people struggle with. So you have to be aware of this even before you approach somebody and try to talk to them or try to date them. You have to realize where they're coming from, how they grew up, their upbringing, etc. Right? So when those women come over here, their programming is strong. Yeah, their programming is strong where they came from. And just because they left, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to change for the better. In most cases, based on my experience, they usually change for the worse. That's what usually happens.